Greetings dwellers of the galactic core, welcome to Tantrums and Tabletops. I'm Ben, and in this video it's time for my second update of New Year New Army. We'll see you after this. So the first models we'll be looking at in this update are the Hernkin Pioneers, which lean into that old school squat aesthetic of being bikers, but with that modern 40k twist of the fact that all vehicles now have to be hover vehicles. So the Hernkin Pioneers skim across alien worlds and scout enemy positions, riding on their magna-coiled bikes. Fast, resilient and possessed of formidable firepower, these far-ranging bands of warriors often strike at the foe from unexpected quarters, or send back intelligence on enemy movements to their oath-bands Kâhl. So these are going to provide like a fast attack option for the army, racing ahead up the table to seize objectives, take out a few targets on the way. Hopefully, they won't get shot off the table in the first couple of turns and it'll be a waste of time and effort. So let's get to them.
With any new project, the first step is building the models. Clipping, filing to remove any nubbins and making sure the pieces fit. In this instance, I went a bit rogue and didn't follow the instructions. I wanted to build the riders separately to make painting easier. Turns out, this was a bad idea. When I tried to dry fit the riders, they wouldn't go, so I needed to chop bits off here and there, and then had to try and glue it all back together and stick them in place anyway. First mistake of the day. The models come with the ever popular tactical rock attachment for the bases. The pegs to connect them were flimsy and broke very easily. So I made some bigger tactical rocks from cork boulders by the army painter and some modelling grit from my basing drawer. Finally, to attach it all, I used some brass rod cut to size and a few blobs of super glue. Once the models are built, it's time to paint. Base coating with calabaite green over a zenithal base, I started blocking in all the green areas. That was followed by an all-over wash of Coelia green shade. This was the second mistake of the day. Why I chose this instead of a recess shade, I have no idea, but it's what I did, so there we are. Metallics up next. This is from the Vallejo Metallic Air Paint range, and even on a brush, it's fantastic. By this point, I'm really beginning to not enjoy painting these models. I think a combination of not following my usual routine of painting in sub-assemblies and also several sloppy mistakes really burned me out and made me lose interest. So much so, I tried absolutely anything I could to not have to paint them.
Wow, that got a bit dramatic for a minute, didn't it? Luckily, after a few days of bed rest under the supervision of some of the finest dangly doctors in the country, I'm raring to go and ready to paint again. So now we're going to be painting the Einheer champion? Einhorn? I don't know, but we're painting them. So what is the Einheer champion? Seasoned commanders of the Hearthguard tasked with leading from the front, Einheer champions wear modified exo armour fitted with mass drivers. Combined with their formidable close quarters weaponry and bulky ram shields, this hulking warsuit transforms them into living battering rams whose accelerated charge hits hard enough to smash clean through armoured fortress gates. He's kind of a leader for the army, and it sounds like he leads from the front. I'm going to build him with the Dark Star Axe, I believe it's called, and I think that gives some buffs when attacking. He can teleport in. He's generally a bit of a unit. So let's get on with painting him.
So besides spending time in the finest crotch hospital in the country, I also hired a crack team of painters and decorators from Bodget and Scarpa to come and put the shed back together after a suspected arson attack. After building the model, I gave it a zenithal prime and then started the base coat of Calabite green. After the 3 bikers, I was a little worried I'd be carrying some residual hatred, but once the paint started going down, I knew I was going to enjoy painting this model. Once the green was dry, I added a recessed shade of Druchii Violet. Wait, I hear you cry, purple and green? Why yes, dear viewer. As you can see here, they complement each other rather well. It's science. Balthazar Gold is the next hero to join our lineup. And then a coat of Retributor armour to brighten up the areas. Once the gold was complete, I went back and tidied up any parts where I'd been a little sloppy. And then it was time for an all-over wash with Agrax Earthshade to make the gold parts look like they've been washed all over with Agrax Earthshade.
So while I finish putting the wash onto this model's gold parts, let's have a quick look at our friends from Heroes. So Heroes are pretty much the best damn comics, collectibles and nerdery shop in the whole of the UK. Check them out at iwheroes.co.uk. They have the full range of Citadel colour, the full army painter range, more model kits than you could shake a stick at, board games, comics, pop vinyls. You want it, they've probably got it. So again, check them out at iwheroes.co.uk. You get 10% off most Games Workshop products there. Go see what you can spend your money on. And while you're checking them out, I'll wait for this to dry and then we'll get back to painting the model.
For the twin cylinders of the mass driver accelerator on the armour, I first used Payne's Grey and then built up with other greys from the Proacryl range. This was also done on the bolter casings and on the soft joints of the armour. The next thing to be painted here is the axe, and I tried to make this look like a power effect using various purples and pinks from the army painter. This is a skill I have not mastered, but I'll be practicing this as when done well I know it just looks fantastic. Into the home stretch now, so I'm painting the tactical rock and applied some texture paint to the base and added a little bit of contrast paint to the hair on the glorious helmet. Once all this was dry, I applied some tufts, a dry brush and then an Eshin Grey rim to the base to tie it all together. With all the painting done, it's time to see the models and the army as it stands right now. In the middle of all that, here's a look at the paints used.
think that wraps us up for the video. I was hoping to paint Votann the Destined in this video as well, but time and general mousetrap injury prevented me from getting on with anything else. So next time we'll definitely be painting Votann the Destined, and that's the army starter box finished. Then I've got a few choices. I can either do this Broke Here Ironmaster, a Sagittar, or some Chthonian Berserkers. Now, I'm quite open to try and paint any of these, so why not let me know in the comments which you think I should do. Thank you for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, and you enjoyed seeing a grown man put a mousetrap on his crackers, brilliant, please consider giving the video a like. If you enjoy what we're doing on the channel, please consider subscribing, it really helps us out. Consider giving that notification bell a little tickle so you're notified every time a new video goes up, and we'll see you again next time.